Welcome to our analogies for the plant cell parts. We will talk about the different parts and what they do in real life, since some of you won't know what they are. We will teach you so you will understand the ways of science and PC components, and how they all rely on each other. So please take your seats, turn off your phone, yes, Apple Watches too, Sam, and try to appreciate the inner meaning of this piece. Please subscribe.
The first component of the cell in the PC we will talk about is the motherboard. The motherboard basically sends signals and allows parts of the PC to communicate with each other. Just like the nucleus, the motherboard sends signals around the computer, and the nucleus sends things like signals, actions, and key decisions around the cell.
Bryan, you're supposed to stay.
The wall of the cell is the PC case. Without it, all the computer parts will spill out of the computer and the parts will be everywhere. It would just be like a pile of wires and parts. The cell wall and the computer case make things more tidy and keep everything inside a border. The cell wall allows things to go in and out of the cell, and the computer case usually just keeps the dust out of the machine.
Oh wait, we're recording. The power supply. We all know it. We can't live without it. We need power. Cells need power to function. Otherwise, you can press the power button as many times as you'd like, and it won't turn on without power. Just think of it like an outlet. Plug in the computer and bam! It turns on. Power out? Oh well, you're done for. If the cell did not have a mitochondria, it would just sit there like a blob, like we do while we watch Netflix. La 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 la. Wait, did you get that?
Cytoplasm is everywhere. Caches in your computer are also everywhere. Caches are a collection of items of the same type stored in a hidden or inaccessible place. Cytoplasm isn't stored in an inaccessible place, but rather it's just everywhere. Caches take up a lot of space in your PC, and so does cytoplasm.
Cell membrane allows things to enter and leave, such as nutrients or some other object that the plant cell has just swallowed and is about to devour for its lunch. Ports, such as USB ports, allow things to enter and leave. For example, USB ports send signals in and out of the PC. Then something like a keyboard, mouse click, or HDMI, aka high definition multimedia interface if you want to be a nerd, sends constant signals from the monitor to the PC, and from the PC to the monitor. Since modern games, Fortnite, requires a lot of image updates, monitors are being built so that the refresh rate, or hertz, and the frames per second, most commonly known as FPS, are much greater, which is a great thing, unlike MacBooks and Fortnite, where your screen updates every 40 minutes, and you have done being the first one to go back to the lobby in every Fortnite match you play, since your Wi-Fi connection is equivalent to a flip phone stranded on the Sahara Desert.
The ribosomes are like the CPU, because they both produce key things that are crucial to a working plant cell and a working computer. For example, the ribosomes produce proteins that help make the entire cell function properly if something inside the cell were to die somehow. The CPU produces processing power, which basically helps with processing many programs on a computer at once. This processing power is commonly known as a gigahertz, or GHz in short.
The endoplasmic reticulum sends materials all throughout the cell, and the computer's graphics card sends a ton of data and graphics throughout a computer. The endoplasmic reticulum is a key component of the cell for nutrients, and the graphics card is a key component to a half-decent PC.
The Golgi bodies compare to the electric plug, since the electric plug comes from the wall, which is another source of electricity. The Golgi bodies gather energy from the endoplasmic reticulum and spreads that energy to the rest of the organelles. It also sends a lot of the materials around the plant cell. Diffusion is like music playing.
Okay.
Because the sound escapes from the computer. When the sound escapes from the computer, it obviously goes outwards and goes to the parts where there isn't much sound and stays there, evenly distributed, until it cannot reach any further.
Active transport is like putting in your password and logging off, because it requires energy, and it moves you in and out of the computer. Active transport is when the cell has to manually move nutrients that it needs against the concentration gradient through the cell membrane.
Lysosomes have enzymes that help digest food particles by breaking down proteins. The lysosome also helps get rid of the internal and external waste, such as things like viruses and dead organelles. The AntiVirus gets rid of computer viruses found that will ruin the PC. In addition, the AntiVirus also scans the computer for things like threats and caches that take up a lot of space in your computer and will delete them so you have more storage space to do whatever you like.
The vacuole stores nutrients and materials. They also store waste so that the rest of the cell does not get contaminated. The hard drive also stores things like big files, applications, and backup files. This is important because without storage, how would you download data to play games or browse the internet? You wouldn't.